Opening bounce. The Essendon team have come out. They've done everything they possibly can before a game. Now they start, and Sandy Roberts brings it home at the MCG.
Thank you, Ed. Nice to see Bell Chambers without the beanie that he was wearing during warm-up. A strange message. Smith couldn't take it. Stringer down towards Ablett. Had it for a moment and then lost it. Goes again with McDonald tipping Woody. Fantasia working hard. Locked up by Smith. And Bell Chambers there as well, forcing another stoppage. Chance for Devon Smith again. Tumbles a punt down towards half forward. Aiming to see the veteran, the wily old fox Harry Taylor, chopping it off. It was a strange sight when he limped into the MCG today. He was 30 going on 50, but great to see him back once again as O'Connor goes in towards half forward. Good fist from Stewart down towards Ablett. Round the body he goes in towards the middle. At the back is Hooker, and he takes it on the chest.
So Hooker on the centre wing position goes to McKenna. McKenna down to his skipper in Heppel, who was a good player last week, one of the few for the Bombers. Now he looks up, kicks it to the hot spot. Tippin Woody waits it behind. There's a push there, was there? Yes, says the umpire.
Against McKernan it was. So McKernan and Stewart are their two keys now. We know they've had injuries, but one has been outmarked and now one's given a free kick away when they've gone inside 50. So they're just two learnings there. Halve those contests. Keep it in your 50.
A little bit early with the push there, McKernan. Oh, it goes. Hawkins takes a screamer. Another of the boys from the bush on a big day for the country lads. Geelong now kick it up towards the half-forward flank position. The sweeper comes across and falls over for Essendon. On that occasion it was Ambrose. As a result, picked up by Cremery, kicks forward. And Bell Chambers very happy to let that go over the line out of bounds. Zach Smith is there for Geelong. Will have a throw-in the forward pocket.
Players playing today not only for 4 premiership points, but also for the Tom Wills medal, as judged by the best player on the ground, as judged the best player on the ground by a number of esteemed judges, including our own Gary Lyon. Selwood in trouble, in real trouble. Smith over the top. Stringer eludes one, gets caught by the other, tried the fend off, it didn't quite work. They push it wide towards the wing and it goes out of bounds. No, it's just kept in play. Socket clear. They need a kind bounce. Cutting across, however, is Stewart again. He was best on ground last week. Played a sensational game. Led the defence. Here's Tui. Flicks it round the body. Zach Smith caught in the spotlight. Couldn't take it cleanly. The Taylor hand pass was okay. Selwood gives it off. And the big men do it, but they don't do it particularly well on that occasion. Here's Ridley, the new boy, having his first kick. Down towards half forward, it's going to be chopped off, however, and Kolajasny takes the mark.
Gary Lyon, Nick Revolt, special comments. Stringer starting in the centre. He's had a couple of touches already. He looks at least up on his toes.
Well, he needs to be. He was really ordinary last week, and integrity of selection got brought into the discussion during the week, and a lot of people calling for Stringer to get dropped back to the VFL. So a couple early touches, a good sign.
Parsons, great kick. Floating in was Cremery to Gregson. He goes long and strong up towards full forward. Dangerfield runs Merritt under the ball. Then doubles back. Trip. Umpire said play on. Well, Cam Smith will be proud of that one. And the Bombers live to fight another day. Thought there was a free kick for tripping all day.
It was a great win for Dangerfield, who got Merritt forward, which is exactly where he needs him. But, gee, I'd like to see it again. It looked like it slipped down to below his knees.
Yep, we'll have a look at the moment as Bagley goes long. McKernan looking for the free kick. Taylor over the top of it for Geelong. Selwood gets the ball moving. McDonald, Tippin Woody fighting hard there. That was a hand. Yeah, Blitzarf's just handed it over.
The Bombers have been inside 4 times, 4-2 early in this piece. It's just the way they've gone in. The sign's good that their pressure's been up and they've been able to force a turnover early in the game.
Short kick, Goddard. Inside 50 it goes. McKernan!
And that's the difference between a 300-plus gamer in Goddard going forward, and we saw the first young, was it Jordan Ridley? Who kicked to a 2-on-1, and it was to a small player. So that's the way to go forward, Rui. It was a nice hit-up.
Yeah, what was clever about the kick was he actually just kicked it to the space. McKernan hadn't led, but he drew McKernan into the football, which is, as a forward, the ideal situation because you're always going to be in front. You have the opportunity to read it first.
Wasn't the worst last week. He had a career high 5 shots at goal last round. Back in for the Bombers. He comes in from just inside 50. He kicks. He gets plenty of it, and he splits the middle. And the Bombers get the first goal on the board.
Well, that's the sort of start that they need, clearly. And again, 5-2 inside 50, good heat. Here's the one at the other end that we thought looked like it may have been a trip. And almost pulled the boots off. So I think we're on the right money there. And this is the Blitzard throw. That was a nice little handoff and well picked up by the umpires. I like it from the Bombers, Drewy.
Well, this is why Jed Lamb went to BJ last week to take him out of the game, because even at 33 years of age, he's still the best ball user for the Bombers. They want him delivering that last kick, the most important kick inside 50. So compliment from the Blues last week. Interested to see whether Geelong employ a similar tactic to
They
Cole.
haven't at all. BJ just coming off the back on his own at the moment.
Sean McKernan gets his 3rd goal for the season. Ablett out of the middle. Has a little bit of time. Steadies and goes long down towards Tomahawk and co. Crameri is there as well. Hawkins, Crameri. Crameri gets caught. Sweeping hand pass towards Parsons. Couldn't take it cleanly. Hooker out the back door he comes, but Dangerfield is there. Couldn't take the mark. The Merritt hand pass is okay, and away goes Stringer again. Up towards centre wing he goes. A long way from home is Stewart. Takes the mark. Uses the run of Merritt. Pokes it down towards the forward line. One hand, not enough. Go again, and so Laverde does. Kick, however, is partly smothered. Cats feeling the heat at the moment. The tackle is a good one, however, by Cunico. Locks it up. Stewart is there as well over the top. Buse at the bottom. And a stoppage to take place.
Well, they look likely to score there, the Bombers, and they've probably messed it up a little bit, but still good signs. And for Merritt and Stringer, these boys running through the middle who have found it really tough recently, they'd be enjoying the freedom.
Zach Smith at the 2nd attempt. Not cleanly, however. An opportunity for Guelphy. Goes across the ground towards Orazio Fantasia. He couldn't take it. The Taylor hand pass snared beautifully by the running Blitzhouse. Menegol is now under the pump. They're putting the pressure on the Bombers, and this is what Bomber fans want to see. Having a red-hot crack. Buse trying to get out the back door. Eventually he does. Ablett can play on now. The old 1-2, and he can bounce his way down towards the wing. He does. Hall Smith takes it back. Looks towards half-forward. Poor kick. Goddard went up with the one hand. That wasn't enough. Tomahawk, can he bounce it through? He's pushed it a little too far to the right. Through the one behind.
Well, the Bombers beat Geelong last year. They had 81 tackles to 40 on that occasion. And already in his first few minutes, I know the tackle counts even, but the intent and the energy compared to what we saw last week at this ground is 100% better.
And the Essendon fans behind them as well at the moment. Up goes Stewart. Couldn't quite pull it down, but it was a good contest at the ball. He goes again. Drags the ball out. He's held up by Ablett. Will have a bounce.
8-4 inside 50s early in favour of the Bombers.
So Bellchambers up against Smith. They lock up. Ball hits the ground. Fantasia's handball was good out of the pack. Set it up there for the kick forward by Fantasia. And we'll have another ball up.
Well, Goddard's free again today. He's allowed to play through the midfield and drift back to be the spare in defence. But Zach Merritt has got Hall and Smith with him for the next 2 hours.
Jack Henry, the man at the bottom of the pack, wearing the jumper made famous by the great Austin McCrabb.
It should be the medal today, Sandy. The Austin McCrabb medal. There was one struck once upon a time. Langford. And Stewart again, who's just been a sensational pickup for the Geelong Football Club on the bottom of the pack there. That was Colin Jasny getting up. So ball up. Bellchambers again gets in. Almost bounces off his head. Good tackle. And again, the intent was great there. Goulfey goes in and holds them up. We'll have another ball up.
The corresponding opponent for Goddard was Ablett. Ablett started off the back of the square as the high forward for Geelong. So Goddard's got to be aware of Ablett on the way through.
The kicks comes out from Hempel up towards full forward. Kernan crashes the pack. Did everything right about the execution in the end?
Yeah, and probably the decision too, Ed. He had Zaharakis at ground level. Would have been an easy little dish. He was in a much better position facing goal to be able to make a decision on whether to pass or shoot.
Tui looks down the middle. He can see Blitzarves down there. That's where he's heading. Parsons there as well. Conor McKenna comes over the top with a big fist. An opportunity now for Langford. Deep in towards full forward go the Bombers. McKernan off the ground. Thank you very much for number 2.
The big difference here, Rui, is Jake Stringer. Was it 2-on-1 or 1-on-2? I don't care how many it is. He brought the ball to ground. The first 2 inside 50s were either mark or free kick. Ball comes back out. Here you'll see Stringer on Tui. Hughes coming back with the footy. Gets the footy to ground and they cause the goal. That's as good as any mark or any goal that Jake Stringer has taken this year in Essendon colours. And that should be the message. Compete. Bring it down the ground, and then the onus comes on your fellow forwards.
You can see what Tui was trying to do with the block that's been spoken about all week. He was just trying to screen Stringer away from the ball, but he actually fought through it. Great contest.
John Worsfold passing, I reckon, the same message back to him. Well done. That's what we want, a contest. And Stringer's been good so far in the first 10 minutes of this game, out of the centre and at full forward.
You can't tell me that this game is not played above the shoulders. This side we watched here last, 6-7 days ago, you would say it's a completely different side for now anyway. I mean, we're only 10 minutes in. Challenges against this great Geelong side, whether they can maintain it.
So Duncan out of the centre gets the free kick, bombs it long. They've got the numbers here. Geelong, Crameri at the front of the pack, tries to just squeeze it around. Bridgen couldn't quite pick it up, and it's through from behind. So good pressure again. Selwood crunched as he took his kick.
Another thing I loved about the Stringer effort was 6 or 7 teammates over to him straight away, patting him on the head. They recognise it. McKernan, most of all.
Dangerous kick back into play. And they may get away with a stoppage here. They will. Matty D applying a good tackle. And Stuart Crameri. Hurried little kick goes towards Kolodjasny, who's forced to defend from the back. Now he gets an opportunity again, Kolodjasny, as he pokes it out to Duncan. Duncan gives it off to Blitzarves. Back to Kolodjasny. Onto the left boot he goes. Over the head of Ablett. Picked up on the half volley. Given to Menegola. Menegola goes towards Kelly. He's had a sensational season. Kick or the mark almost taken. Now the pressure's on Hooker. He gets taken to ground. Continuing to chase his Thurlow. They've got it still inside 50. Hooker again. Zaharakis gets it away quickly. Finally McKenna. Back towards centre wing. Taylor spoiling from behind. Opportunity for Fantasia. Keeps the ball in play. And the Bombers will get out of strife. They're on half back. Langford, who's only had a handful of games, playing just his 3rd this season. McDonald tipping Woody waiting down in front. The pack sees it over. The outer side, another throw in.
Let's see how quickly they get this ball in, because they've certainly been throwing it up quicker, and that's been the directive. So let's see. Last night it was a bit more difficult because the ball was wet and slippery. I understand that.
This guy's had a couple of goes at the boundary umpire and he's hatching it.
Well, he's got to get in quicker.
He's at his look, but he's having his close up too. Get it in, son.
The old close up, eh?
Great intensity from the Bombers. Oh, look at that Selwood though, locks up. They do it well, Essendon. Zaharakis off one step, the torpedo. Stewart is gone. No, not Stewart. In fact, it was Blitzarves. He's in big trouble and gone.
Well, that's Mark Bagley, who's just like, excuse me.
It's 50. Yeah, umpire Schmidt was right on it. Blitzarves threw it into the back of his head.
Well, Bagley's playing forward 50 and has done that a little bit in recent weeks. He got exposed as a defender a couple of weeks ago, but he's there for this very simple reason, and that is to put forward 50 pressure on. And to win the free kick from a tackle is a great result. To kick the goals even better.
13 minutes in and the Bombers have kicked 3-0. They lead by 17 points.
Well, he had a bit of an ordinary week last week. Again, one of those senior players that was questioned during the week with his ability to play the role that he'd been prescribed from John Worsfold, but so far this looks a bit of a masterstroke, sending him forward, playing forward 50, playing that pressure role. It's just an effort role.
Yep.
If it's rewarded and it's valued highly internally, well then it's a tough role to execute, because you actually have to give great effort, but it's a simple role to execute. You don't need to worry about kicks, marks, handball, All you've got to do is get to the fall of the ball, chase, harass, pressure. If you hit the scoreboard like he did there, it's a bonus.
Bagley 1, McKernan 2, Geelong 0. McDonald tipping Woody, belts it off the ground, gains 40 metres. Inside 50, the chase is on. Stewart has been really good. He's having a wonderful year. Matty D into the side this week. One of a number of changes for the Bombers. Langford coming in, Ridley coming in, Guelphy and Clark as well. Short, it's going to be okay. Langford, one of the players I mentioned.
Let's not forget this Geelong side. Their average over the last month is 53 points against. They've already given up 3 goals.
And the Bombers' average over the past month is what? 67. They're well on the way to eclipsing that. Mark is going to be paid. Yes, it is, to Ambrose. Ambrose goes across the ground, and here he is again. Jakey boys, Stringer goes short, perhaps a little ambitious because Dangerfield was always lurking. He's going to get caught by Devon Smith, not before he got it away, however. And now the Cats drift back into the middle towards Selwood.
There's not much room at this moment for the Cats defenders to be comfortable.
Cunico
They're under the pump every time they get it.
gives it to Tui, who chips long down towards full forward. The race is on. Saad will be first to it for the Bombers. Gives it off to Merritt, tucked in the back pocket. Swings around now, spearing left foot kick was very good to Zaharakis.
And just starting to play with a bit of confidence. They're good players. Merritt last week was tentative. This time he just pulled the trigger and went bang, and so too to the Bombers on this occasion. Laverde's kick was a beauty to McDonald. Tevin Woody, he goes onto the left boot. It was a little bit too laconic. It's clean bowled them all. Stewart couldn't pick it up. He applies the tackle. They need to hold this in. Collar Jesney for Geelong. Gets it out to Stewart. Good defensive play by the Bombers. Good play by Geelong to get it out up towards the wing position, but it's coming back. And D gets across.
That's pressure, Ed. That's a dump out of defence by the Cats. And their intent to tackle in the forward 50 is as good as it's been all year. They being Essendon.
So the Bombers have got to keep that intensity with the ball as well. The kick from Merritt was great. Tippin Woody's was just McDonald Tippin Woody's was just a little bit too blasé around the body on the left foot.
Yeah, it was very casual. He needed to back off with a little bit more urgency, straighten up on the right foot, just kick it out to space.
Well, I like the fact that he was a target on Tom Stewart. He had space on Stewart. Stewart's a great intercept player, been outstanding all year. He's making him accountable.
Umpire's picked one out. It's going to go to the Bombers, I think. It is. McKernan's got the free kick.
So we know how good this Geelong side is. They've got great leaders, Selwood and Dangerfield and Duncan, and they need to lead now because they're under some serious pressure, and it can be a bit overwhelming for some sides. I would imagine that they will now take control of this game. Maybe even slow it down a bit, Rui, because the momentum and the emotion, it's starting to flow for Essendon right now.
So, can you believe it? Sean McKernan's lining up for his 3rd goal in the first 17 and a half minutes of this game. Caught one in the head. They sometimes don't put a ruckman in those contests. And Dangerfield took the ruck and hit him right across the ear. So McKernan, this is a huge kick. Comes in, straightens up, it straightens up, it straightens up, and he puts it through. He's got 3.
Last week we watched this, and last time they met, as we said earlier, they had a fantastic result, and the tackle count that day was 81-40. So that would stay clear in the back of their mind. And you're having a look at this, I reckon, I'd be surprised if this wasn't shown through the week in the lead-up. Yeah,
so sometimes that's what you need. You just need that reminder that we actually are capable of a group of delivering this, because when you find yourself in one of these form slumps, confidence is you can't take a tablet for it. You can't go down the store and say, I'd like some confidence, please. So to be able to have that positive affirmation of seeing you do it really well against the opponent that you're about to face, and knowing that that formula stacked up, it's a great thing to be able to lean on.
The Bombers by 23 points.
Dangerfield in the ruck.
McKernan.
Good to have Dennis Pagan in the box.
Yeah, sock it off the ground. Stringer it was who smashed it wide. Oh, there's a high tackle.
Oh, it's just a little bit of panic. Blitzarves, who's a brand new full-back for the first time probably since he's been moved back there, is feeling some genuine heat.
Bagley wasting no time. Into the square he goes. At the back, Stringer, but it's gone too far. Couldn't quite get there in time and threw for one behind. Boy, all one-way traffic at the moment. 4 goals to the Bombers. The highly fancied Cats 2 behinds.
Crouching tiger.
Ambitious. To the outer side, Selwood. Waits for the bounce. Heppel right there with him. Tries to get it away towards Cunico. He's claimed. Everything going with the Bombers at the moment.
No space for the Cats.
17-7 inside 50s in favour of the Bombers.
So Harakis in towards the forward pocket region. Stewart had a dream run, playing beautifully in defence. Blitz halves. Poor kick. Could be a costly turnover. Ridley couldn't take it cleanly. Bagley tries to hold it up. He's got it just inside 50, and that's where we'll have a stoppage.
You've seen the way the Bombers have wanted to set up behind the footy with numbers in line with the ball. The reason that hasn't been able to work for them so far this season is because they've had no pressure on the ball carrier. So the person with the footy has been able to change directions, make decisions with no pressure on them.
Smith front spot. Try to get it out the back. Menegola taken to ground. So too Heppel. Dangerfield's got him.
All of a sudden you get forward pressure and it's hurried kicks. It's quick kicks down the line, and players like Day and Hooker have been able to intercept mark.
Heppel not cleanly away. Fantasia couldn't take it. Stringer again. Around the body. It's a high ball. Too far for Stewart and out of bounds. Right forward pocket. In the full. As we go down to the boundary line, Nick Del Santo. Nick?
Well, there's different ways to show your intent and your passion for the footy club. It's 8-1 forward half turnovers in front of the Dons. They're set up structurally really well behind the ball. It's the Cats that are pushing back desperately to support their defence, but they're able to turn the ball over in their forward half, the Bombers.
Yeah, and 19-7 forward half tackles too, supporting that, Del.
So they need to get some value for their money here. The Essendon Football Club. Push out, free kick, Hooker takes it. Oh, easy, Tommy. The umpies are watching you. Hooker to Ridley, the first gamer. Nice little chip kick to Saad, who gets and goes. That's what the Essendon side needs off half-back, and it's a long kick. McDonald Tippenwoody's going to have to beat a few here. He does well to stand his ground. Now it's dangerous. McDonald Tippenwoody goes again. Little handball comes out to Heppel on his left foot. Has a look and puts it through. Dyson Heppel kicks the big goal. McDonald Tippenwoody, stand up, son, you are magnificent.
And Dylan Clark, good hand pass in his first game.
Beautiful, well picked up, Sandy. But I tell you, you can bring this game back to the basics, and that is don't get out marked. There's the free kick against Tom Hawkins. No complaints here, Tommy. Go back to the call of McDonald Tippenwoody not being outmarked. You can look at this and go, blitz half Tippenwoody. That's all you need. That's bring it to the ground, halve the contest. They got forward half pressure. They're doing it better than they ever have, and they end up with another goal.
Heppel kicks his 50th career goal. Had a good week last week against Carlton in a losing side. 27 disposals.
And Sandy, you can talk all week as BJ has and the coach and everyone else saying we play forward half footy. Well, you need to see it, and today we are seeing it.
That's exactly right. Laverde under the pump.
Essendon, back of the jumper, flag out.
And it's Laverde who's got the free kick. From the middle of the ground, all of a sudden they're inside 50 once again. Henry waits at the back, but it doesn't come that far. Kelly's in all sorts of trouble. So too is Buse. He gets taken to ground. Pressure personified, put on by the Bombers.
Again, a forward out of position, and McKernan that time, but rather than fly for the miraculous mark or try to do something really special, just took body, brought it to ground, give your ground level players a chance.
Devon Smith towards the dangerous McKernan again. Couldn't take it cleanly. Cunico, interesting. A snap that's high, goes right across the face of goal, then proceeds to bounce backwards. Cats have got the numbers, and they've got the ability to get out of it through Hall and Smith, who was waiting wide. He kicks towards half-back. Now they've got a chance to run. Over the top it went from Cranberry. Dangerfield running through the middle. He's got to wait for players to get down there. There's only one, and there he is, the Tomahawk. Goes back again. Now the Bombers should be able to clear, even if they go back further. No, it's going to be all right. The new boy's doing it well. This is Jordan Ridley, and he is away.
And he looks like a bit of a player too, Jordan Ridley, in this early part of the game. Blitzarves has got the height advantage, but McDonald Tippenwoody makes him go forward. Now there's a chance. Oh, they've turned it over. And Cunico just didn't bounce it. It went over the boundary line, and there's a throw in, and the Bomber fans dare to dream at the 24-minute mark of this opening term.
It's perceived pressure. They've had them under pressure with legitimate chase and tackle, and all of a sudden you find yourself in space. But because you're conditioned now after 15 minutes of footy to the Bombers chasing and harassing, you turn it over with no pressure on you.
Stewart this time. Beautiful kick of the football. Inside 50 he goes. Lurking at the back to Hawkins. Gets it across. Framry, the former Bomber, lines it up and puts it through for Geelong's first.
Well, you say they need it's an understatement because everything was tracking the way of the Bombers, and no right foot in the modern game, Rui. If you only need one, it would appear. But that was a good result. Clearance is the other thing I wanted to touch on. 13-4 in favour of Essendon at the moment. So that gives you field position. Put in your forward half. Then it's up to forwards and midfielders to put pressure on to keep it there. There's a pattern that Essendon supporters would be looking at right now saying, hey, we win tough games as they did last year, but there were 3 or 4 or 5 occasions where they came up against an opponent that was seen as a certain win and struggled. So they would hope that this is not one of those occasions.
25.5 minutes gone in what has been a good comeback quarter by the Bombers. Answering their critics at the moment. But Geelong, don't worry, won't go away. At the bottom of the pack is Thurlow, and we've got a stoppage in the Cats attacking zone, but still outside 50.
A little structural difference from the Dons this week. They're playing 6 forwards, so they've got equal numbers in front of the footy, allowing them to compete one-on-one or in a cluster as the ball comes to ground.
Special comments from Nick Dal Santo on the boundary line. Smith again with Bell Chambers. Goddard. Selwood, beautifully smothered. Selwood gets another shot. No, he doesn't. Waller takes him to the ground. Ripping tackle by McDonald tipping Woody.
He's had 4, McDonald tipping Woody. Devon Smith's been a tackling machine all year, but hey, he's back to doing what made him a cult hero in the first place.
No free kick, Gary?
I was too busy just looking at the stats, actually.
Magnificent. Stewart towards Hawkins. Not cleanly and thrown towards the line. Merritt. Over.
With Devon Smith, #1 pressure player in the competition, so as a recruit he's been fantastic. Would be miles ahead in the Bombers best and fairest, you'd imagine. And the second best player for the Bombers is Merritt, but not in the top 40 in the comp.
Hall and Smith, this is the danger period for Essendon. The last couple of minutes of this first quarter, they've done everything right, and 24 points up. So 2 minutes and 39 seconds left on the clock. You know that Geelong are just going to keep gradually grinding through. They've got so many great players, particularly in their midfield. Bombers have to hold up here in this last couple of minutes. Time on in the first term. Bell Chambers taps it down. Heppel's kick is smothered. Hall and Smith for Geelong. Thrown to the ground, we'll have a baller.
They have got great players in the midfield, but this will be the enduring question throughout the year until I guess they win a premiership, is that when it goes against them, are they great defensive players? So 5 goals in a row would suggest that, hey, now danger, Selwood, you've got to tighten up for a period.
Tell you who is dangerous is Stewart's a kick off the play here, and he'll have an open goal if it comes out his way. In the meantime, it's Saad. Bombers have to go over the top from here. And that's a good kick. That was well composed. Great play.
Yeah, really important that he actually found a mark then and they were able to stop and reset up, because down the line it was 2 Geelong players if you kick long.
Move on, play on.
So Bagley off the half-back flank. Looks up. Decides to go long up the line. Needs a big mark here. Up goes Stringer. Nearly had enough of it. Collar Jasny in a whole lot of trouble, and McKernan tackles beautifully. Harry Taylor, was he grabbed high? Geelong fans say yes. Stewart says no and kept going. Bagley with a handball. Comes back to Zaharakis. Around the corner. Big mark required here. Free kick. So Gregson will get the free kick against Stringer. That half-back flank for the Cats. Tui. Kelly. Tui's a booming kick. Good kick. Good kick. Duncan read it well. Ran a position, turned around, hit him on the chest, then looked up and saw Big Smith, who goes long and strong to full forward. Free kick.
That's what happens when you don't get the pressure on in your front half, is that just waltz through the middle of the ground. It did have a good kick included in there, but all of a sudden your defence, who we've lauded, just have got their tongue hanging out because the Geelong players are able to get in behind.
Always the worry of the last couple of minutes, but that kick from Zach Tui, he took it on, kicked it to the right spot, and to his credit, Duncan knew where it was going, was able to get himself composed, turn around, take the mark and get it forward. And now Patrick Dangerfield has the chance to kick the second goal and get Geelong back in this game. Close to the siren, he comes in from point-blank range and does not miss. .240th career goal.
The trouble here, guys, was that Bombers player here, he doesn't get goal side of his opponent. Geelong players able to get goal side of him, had all this space to run through till he kicks it, and they're able to go coast to coast. So in that instance, you need to work really hard to get to the defensive side of your opponent. Otherwise, your defenders are all out of position, and it became far too easy for Geelong to be able to take it down to Dangerfield in a really attacking position. So
that's, you wonder what's going to be said at three-quarter time. That is exactly the sort of stuff. Here's the clearance graphic at the moment. They've been down, they've been getting belted. To this first quarter, 14-7 in favour of the Bombers is key to them leading at quarter time.
Well, they've got 45 seconds to see if they can answer. Smith out of the middle. The big man does well. Gives it off to Kelly, who looks towards the half-forward line. The ball was touched, so they'll play on and Cranberry wide, but Parsons elects to go it alone. He goes with a high ball. Poorly directed in the air, but the bounce favoured the Cats. They were down 2-on-1. Matty D will still get the Bombers out of trouble. He does with an effective hand pass towards Heppel. Smith, Blitzar's had a height advantage. Couldn't take it cleanly. Stewart's a long way from home. Gives it off to Merritt. Back once again to Heppel. Smothered. Still a chance for the Cats as precious seconds tick away. 10 seconds. Danger's got it. Ablett got it. He's lost it. Sards away. Free kick.
Well, nice timely reminder. Just a symbolic reminder to finish the quarter with a big tackle to release the pressure. So nice reminders there heading into quarter time for the Bombers.
So Merritt with no need to worry about the free kick. It's quarter time at one stage. The Bombers led by 30 points.